It's almost the weekend, and it's gonna be an awesome one, especially for us wrestling fans. What is going on, guys? This is HDX here. Yes, it's been a while since I used that introduction phrase. Anyway, it's almost the weekend, and you know what that means for us wrestling fans? Survivor Series weekend, but also in Saturday, NXT Takeover WarGames! Can't freaking wait! Yes, specifically Saturday night, NXT Takeover WarGames! And then Sunday, Survivor Series! Yeah, it's kind of surprising that I'm so looking forward to both Saturday and Sunday. I mean, like, I was kind of a little bit indifferent when it comes to Survivor Series on Sunday because, you know, WWE usually books it terribly year after year after year in recent years. But now it's starting to get some heat. It's finally starting to get some momentum right now. So, but first, I want to do some previews and predictions on NXT Takeover's WarGames Saturday night. And let me tell you, just like the other Takeover events, this is going to be a real good one. I guarantee it. Hands friggin' down. So let's get into it, shall we? Alright, okay, for starters, the first match is going to be Johnny Gargano, aka Johnny Wrestling, against the WWE United Kingdom Champion, Pete Dunne, in the first match of the TakeOver card. And keep this in mind, this is a non-title match. And personally, when it comes to this prediction of mine, I think this is a no-brainer that Pete Dunne is going to win this one. I mean, these two are very, very great competitors in the ring, but Pete Dunne is going to win this one, hands down. It's a no-brainer. Coming up next, we got Cassius, oh no, against the Beast in NXT, Lars Sullivan. Cassius Ohno is personally one of my favorite NXT wrestlers. Chris Hero from Ring of Honor. Yes, some people say that they don't like his attire that looks like a basketball player bench warmer shtick here, but I kind of like him. Even though his body doesn't look straight, at least he's still a good wrestler nonetheless. Lars Sullivan, a force to be reckoned with. That dude is a beast at NXT. Probably the next Braun Strowman. And I say this one is going to be a big brawl between the two. These two cannot wait to get their hands on one another. So for my prediction, I'm going to say Lars Sullivan. Honestly, Lars Sullivan is going to crush Cassius Ohno, personally. This guy is beast, man. He is strength. His youth is on his side. Ohno has a lot of experience, but I'm not sure that he's able to get this on the long run. So we'll just see what happens. Still, I'm going for Lars Sullivan. Now, coming up next, Aleister Black versus the Velveteen Dream. And let me tell you guys, like every fan in NXT, I like the build-up of this match. It's simple, it's straightforward. Velveteen Dream just wants Aleister Black's attention. He's getting in through his head. And on a side note, like, unlike most people, like, I didn't dig the Velveteen Dream's gimmick. Like, he's like the smooth, he's like the artist formerly known as Prince, like pretty boy type shtick. I mean, I didn't feel it, but it's kind of grown to me for just a while. And Aleister Black, I freaking love Aleister Black. That dude is badass, man. And let me tell you, future NXT champion, mark my words, future NXT champion, Aleister motherfucking Black, hands down. Just mark my words on that. Now, that being said here, I like the build-up here. I like where, like, the Velveteen Dream was just getting in the head of Aleister Black. It's like, look at me. Pay attention to me. Have I got your attention now? Come on. You got my attention right now. Ha ha ha. I won't stop until I get enough of it. No pun intended. No pun intended. And Aleister Black was like, man, I had enough with this fucking shit right now. You and me, we're gonna settle this at NXT Takeover. Hands down. Bring it on. Alright, so my prediction on this match, Aleister Black. Honestly, Aleister Black will knock the hell out of the Velveteen Dream. Look, and the reason why I say that is because, like, I want NXT, like, I can tell that NXT wants to build up Aleister Black as one of the top stars in NXT, to build him like this ultimate badass, to be the most enigmatic, I mean, make him look like an enigma, that will be the future world champion in NXT, and I can't wait to see that. So, that being said right now, in short, Aleister Black beats Velveteen Dream at NXT Takeover. Mark my freaking words. And again, and future NXT champion. Mark my word. And next, we have one of the two titles that are going to be contested on this Saturday's TakeOver event here. The NXT Women's title in a fatal four-way dance. Peyton Royce, Kairi Sane, Ember Moon, and Nikki Cross are going to go at it. And the build-up is really good. I mean, right after when Asuka has relinquished the title due to sustaining an injury after Brooklyn 3, that is when somebody's ready to step in and to fill that void. And I felt like somebody who was getting ready to fill that void was either Ember Moon or Kairi Sane. Now, Kairi Sane was the winner of this year's Mae Young Classic. I mean, an amazing tournament. Hands freaking down. So the NXT General Manager William Regal took it upon himself to make a fatal four-way for the vacant NXT Women's Championship, with qualifying matches held over the following weeks to determine the other three participants. First off, Royce defeated Cross and Morgan to qualify for the match by pinning Cross after she was distracted by Contra, who was escorted by the Undisputed Era. Kairi Sane took her place in the second spot after winning the Mae Young Classic. The following week afterwards, Ember Moon qualified by defeating Ruby Riott and Sonya Deville. And then on the next episode, Nikki Cross finally defeated Billie Kay in a Battle Royal to qualify for the last spot in the Fatal 4-Way. And Billie Kay was trying to convince William Regal, like, come on, could you put me in the spot there? Like, could you put me in the spot? Basically trying to put her automatically because Peyton Royce is in the match as well. But William Regal is like, no. You can't just gonna ask me to give you a spot like that. You gotta earn your shot in NXT. And I thank William Regal for that. And Billie Kay, as a spoiled brat, like always, like her best friend Peyton Royce, she was like, ugh, hey, Peyton, Royce, Kay, you gotta understand that if you want to earn your spot in these matches, you have to earn it. You gotta earn it. And personally, I am happy that Nikki Cross is finally gonna get her shot in this match, because I prefer Cross over Kay, because like when Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are in the same match here, like whenever it's a tag team or in a fatal four-way, I mean, they always gonna team up just to have an advantage here. And sometimes like they always do cheap shots and dirty tricks here, which I kind of like the gimmick. I mean, sometimes it's really good, but at times it can get a little bit really annoying. So I'm glad that Royce is gonna go solo and Cross is gonna be in the mix. And this is a really, really packed women's match in a really, really good stacked NXT TakeOver card. Now, for my prediction now, Ember Moon is going to win this one. Ember Moon is going to win this one because she has worked so hard in NXT that she fought with every tooth and nail to finally gonna get her hands on the NXT title that she's been craving for so long. I mean, many times that she's trying to take on Asuka from time and time again. I mean, especially in Brooklyn 3, where she almost had her chance to win, but in the end didn't prevail. And I felt like that this is going to be her ultimate chance. Like, this is her big chance to get her hands on the gold that she's been craving for so long. And the reason why I say that, because look, I love Kairi Sane. I love the stuff that she's done in Stardom. I've been hoping that she's going to be a future NXT champion, an NXT Women's Champion, when Asuka stepped down, and hoping that Kairi Sane to fill a void. But for the time being right now, it's Ember Moon's chance. It's Ember Moon's chance to win the NXT Women's Championship. Guaranteed. Again, Ember Moon will win this one. That's my prediction on this match. Then coming up next, the NXT title matchup between the champion, Drew McIntyre, formerly known as Drew Galloway, versus Andreas Cianalmas, formerly known as La Sombra. And holy mackerel, there's so much build up in this match. So, alright, let's go into how all of this came about. Cien Almas's manager, Zelina Vega, interrupted McIntyre's interview, stating that Almas and McIntyre were the same, accusing him of avoiding Almas and expressing Almas' interest in challenging him for the title. On the October 25th episode of NXT, Vega said that he had been waiting for a contract of an NXT championship match with McIntyre, saying that McIntyre and Strong were weak compared to Almas. Almas then defeated Strong after Vega physically interfered in their match. Afterwards, Vega challenged McIntyre to meet Almas in the ring next week. After the show went off the air, General Manager William Regal, in a video posted to Twitter, announced that McIntyre versus Almas for the title has been made official, and their confrontation next week will be a contract signing. On November 1st episode of NXT, McIntyre signed the contract to defend his title at WarGames and brought it out to the ring where Almas attacked McIntyre and signed the contract as well. McIntyre called Almas out on the November 14th episode, stating that Almas was taking orders from Vega and wondered if she would ever let him off his leash. I apologize for the stutters here. Anyway, Vega and Almas then came out and attacked McIntyre, standing tall with the title. And I also like that promo from last night where Drew McIntyre was talking to Zelina Vega, where he said, "Zelina Vega, you were rambling about mountains, but when NXT Takeover, that Andre Ciamales will see that I am the bloody mountain." Oh my god, it's basically his way of saying, oh, that you're talking about mountains, well, you haven't seen my mountain yet. Oh man, but I digress. Alright, so for my prediction right now, I say Drew McIntyre is going to retain the NXT title. He is going to retain it hands down. When it comes to Cien Almas, I love Cien Almas. At first I didn't like him, in his gimmick. He was so awesome as La Sombra back in CMML when he was one of the members of Los Ingobernables. Andre Cien Almas, a good competitor. The gimmick is, I don't feel it. But he's a good villain in NXT. Again, Drew McIntyre is going to retain the title at this Saturday at TakeOver. He is going to retain that title, hands friggin' down. Hands down. He's going to retain that title. Zelina Vega is an X factor, but we're going to see what happens. Again, Drew McIntyre, going to retain. And now, we save the best for last. The main event of NXT TakeOver. Sanity versus the Undisputed versus the Authors of Pain with Roderick Strong in a match that is coming back, resurrected from the dead for the first time in almost 20 years. Oh yes, 3 teams, 2 rings, inside one big, giant, long cage. Oh yes, baby. The WCW specialty concept is now being resurrected, this time on NXT WarGames. Oh yes. When they first announced that they're gonna bring back WarGames for this NXT TakeOver, I marked the hell out. I'm like, yes, this is perfect. This is perfect. Yes! And I absolutely love the build-up of this match. Alright, let's recap on how this all came about. At TakeOver Brooklyn 3, Sanity, Alexander Wolf, and Eric Young defeated the Authors of Pain to win the NXT Tag Team Championship. After the match, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly out of nowhere attacked all 4 competitors, and over the next several weeks, Adam Cole, who debuted at Brooklyn 3 by attacking newly crowned NXT champion Drew McIntyre, Fish, O'Reilly, and Adam Cole, baby, now call themselves as the Undisputed Era, and Sanity, including Dane, brawled with each other after their respective matches. On the September 27th episode of NXT, Cole defeated Young after Young was distracted by the faction brawl at ringside. The next week, after McIntyre successfully defended his NXT title against Roderick Strong, the Undisputed Era came out to urge Strong to join them. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Very interesting, consider that they're all been in Ring of Honor. I've seen them in ROH many times before, and I love these guys. Anyway, on the October 18th episode, the Authors of Pain attacked Sanity during their match with the Undisputed Era, holding up tag team titles and staring down Undisputed. The following week, after Roderick Strong's match against Almas, the Undisputed Era came down to the ring and convinced Strong to join them, telling them to think it over. On the November 1st episode, the Authors of Pain defeated Sanity by disqualification with a tag team championship rematch after they were attacked by the Undisputed Era, who just beat up Sanity. Strong came out, teasing joining Undisputed, but attacked Cole instead. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Sending Undisputed running. General Manager William Regal then came out and announced that in order to restore order, 3 teams would face off. The only match that could contain them, a WarGames match. And people went wild, including myself. The first such match since the September 4th, 2000 episode of WCW Monday Nitro at Takeover Houston, now known as WarGames. Yes! And I love how NXT just ups the ante when it comes to this event, especially on this friggin' match. And what's really interesting is that the rules they added a couple of tweaks and adjustments here and there. For instance, I'm going to read this through here that said, for the match notes that each team will select one member to start the match inside the cage, while remaining participants are locked inside shark cages near the entranceway. After 5 minutes, the final 2 members from one team will enter the match, giving the team an advantage. 3 minutes later, the second team's members are released, followed by the final team's members after another 3-minute period. The first competitor to pick up a pinfall or submission earns the win for his team once all 3 teams are inside the structure. And I really find it interesting considering that they adopted most of the rules there from the 1998 WarGames when they had 3 teams there, Team WCW, Team NWO versus Team Wolfpack. It's really interesting. I was expecting the certain rule there at the end where it said there's no disqualifications, there's no pinfalls, there's no countouts. The only way to win the match is either you let your opponent submit or surrender, or where they say the referees and the timekeepers that will have the final official say at WarGames, during back in the old days. I'm gonna tell you, man, this is going to be an all-out war, man, an all-out war in that cage, filled with 2 rings, with 3 teams going at one another. Look, I'll say, this is really hard to predict, man. To be honest with you, it's really hard to predict. With the Authors of Pain, with their strength, look at the size of these guys. With strength and toughness, they have a good advantage. Sanity, they are not only strong, but they're also completely nuts. They're wild, they're unpredictable. You never know what they're gonna do next here. So they have a good advantage right there. And the Undisputed Era, they are solid as a unit. They have a good solid as a unit, but their weakness could be their strength. Their toughness. This is their first time stepping into this. This is their first match together in NXT as a trio, as a group. And I'll tell you, this is going to be a real showdown. And there might be, I have a theory on this. There is a possibility that Roderick Strong would turn against the Authors of Pain in this match to join the Undisputed Era. I can guarantee you this. This could be a possibility. I can guarantee you that. But other than that, I say that it's either going to be the Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong, or either Sanity to win this one. So it's going to be a double-edged sword for me on this one. It's going to be a 50-50. So we're going to see what happens. Again, either Authors of Pain or Sanity. Again, Undisputed Era, they might be in a bit, but, hey, there might be a possibility that they can pull it off. There might be a possibility. Remember, there's no disqualifications, no countouts, anything goes in WarGames. Anything goes. But I'm sticking to my predictions nevertheless. I can't wait to see this one. Alright, so here's the recaps on my predictions. Pete Dunne, Aleister Black, Sullivan, McIntyre, Ember Moon, sorry about that, And oh my god, like the WarGames match, it's either going to be the authors of Pain and Roderick Strong or Sanity. So those are my predictions here. Hey, give this video a thumbs up, definitely subscribe, leave a comment. This is HDX signing out. Have a good one. And on the next video, I'm going to do my Survivor Series previews and predictions. It's going to be an interesting one this Sunday.